Glad to see you. We have a brand new release today from Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements.
It's a beautiful morning with the Barbershop Duet.
Hi, I'm Marcus Klinger with Klinger Vocal Studio.
And I'm Sarah Vincent with Sarah Vincent Virtual Pilates.
But on Wednesdays and Saturdays,
we are the Barbershop Duet.
Hey, and it's good to see you. We're only the Barbershop Duet because you're here,
yes,
a part of our barbershop. Hit like and subscribe for us. And if you're here during the live premiere, join the chat so we can meet you and come say hi.
Yeah.
So, our mention today,
Some
if you
new
have had your ear to the ground with the hobby, you know that due to certain shakeups in St. Petersburg, some of the blades that we all have come to know and love are a little bit more scarce and maybe someday unavailable. So I have started branching out and looking at some different
options.
blades from a few different places. And these are my find of the week. These are Bic Asters. They are coated, although the box doesn't say that. And they gave me a lovely shave somewhere between mild and sharp.
Right.
And boy,
And then you mentioned something
fun.
about the glue, too.
Yes, they come in like these really cool red wrappers, and I noticed that the blades themselves don't have any glue on them that attach to the paper. Thank you for reminding me. So if you're a little concerned about your Rockwell 6S,
some
which
people don't like the
some
glue.
people a little bit are right now, the glue might be taking off some of the color, right? There you go, a non-glued razor blade. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments.
If anyone else has tried them.
Have you tried these, or you pick them up and... What is our soap today?
We are very lucky. This soap was sent to us. We had heard some rumblings in the Facebook page group, but we didn't know exactly what was happening.
And a few weeks ago, Douglas posted a picture of the original of this and said, "Should I?" He he he.
And apparently he did.
Enough people said, "Yeah, you should, buddy," because this got sent out to us for free to review, and we're so grateful to you. And Fran, let's meet the soap.
I think so.
All right, so we got an email from Fran this morning with the description and stuff. So here we go.
Good stuff. Note, fans of Fresco or Old Spice Fresh will love this.
Hey, if you're constant viewers, we just did our review on Fresco, and boy, did we love it. It was based on a 1980s Old Spice formulation called Fresh that was kind of a new thing for the 80s. It was a green bottle. Lovely scent, right?
Yeah.
So, who knows what this is going to be like.
Here we go. Here is our latest homage, Casi Perfecto, a tribute to the 90s classic Curve for Men.
I do remember this box and this label being ubiquitous back in the day of high school, along with like Jupe and those things.
Yeah, and it was always in the magazine inserts, like the men's and the Curve for women. All right, chances are you or one of your friends wore the heck out of this stuff back in the day, and likely still do. I actually don't even consider this nostalgic, but as relevant as ever. Timeless, even.
That's funny. Joel came over the other day and he smelled Fresco. And he got this weird look on his face. And I was like, "Did your dad wear that?" He goes, "No, I think I did."
Right, but like
But I wonder if he wore this, because this is
close.
telling us that they're close, right?
All right, Joel, we're gonna have to
I
ask.
bet Joel wore this. Okay, going on.
However, at some point, there was a slight reformulation, and the, quote, new stuff just didn't seem as potent as the OG.
Gotcha.
It does happen. Okay. For that reason, we had to step in with the Phoenix reboot and not only crank it back up, but also build a collection of matching products around it for the gents still rocking this intoxicating juice.
Love it.
Okay.
All right, so now, here's the Phoenix spin. Ready? Warning, math coming. As for our name, Casi Perfecto, that is Spanish for almost perfect. This is not in regard to the fragrance, but the year it was originally released, 1996. And 96 is an almost perfect number. For those of you curious, this is what a perfect number is. I also thought Casi Perfecto sounded like an old school baseball player, maybe. Casi Perfecto. And that really tied in nicely with the curve theme, especially with a catcher throwing a curveball sign, no? So yeah, a typical PAA label working on a few different levels in an effort to tie the room together.
Historically, we don't typically explain what's going on in the design, but maybe it's time that we do. I think so. We always see different things and we're like, that's gotta mean something.
And I remember Curve having a couple different boxes. There was the yellow one that was for the guys, and I think the girls' one was pink,
Pink or blue? Yeah, something with
but
that.
man, was this a giant hit in the 90s. So
Every
I'm
store had
excited.
something, you know?
Very few people have seen this label so far. I want to know what it looks like. Let's unbox it. This is exciting. I like to see The maximum Phoenix.
Pre-cut the edges to not get embarrassed on camera here.
All right. We got the special foamy paper on the aftershave.
Now the label makes sense.
Whoa.
Okay, that is the neon color of Curve for sure.
I love that. Y'all look at this label. He's throwing
And
up
it's
the
like we
Curve
just
sign.
talked about a possible baseball name.
That's the Curve sign.
funny.
I love it. And here is the aftershave.
cool.
Let's see. Ooh, we got the...
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Oh,
Oh, very close.
this is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's a full set.
Okay, I'm not waiting anymore. Let's have our first impression.
Since you're the men, should you have a Curve
I'm
for
a
men
baseball
with?
fan in the family. I kind of want to
Okay.
go first.
I'm
It's a
intrigued.
beautiful label. Look how it says
fun.
legendary artisan shave soap on the side, right?
It's legendary.
I wonder who that is. That's not Douglas.
No, but I'm curious. Is that somebody? I
I
don't.
don't know. It must be somebody. Okay, here we go. You
Okay.
ready?
I don't know.
I'm
I'm
excited.
curious if I remember this scent. I mean, I can see the bottle,
right.
but I really don't know if I knew a lot of people that wore it.
Right. Wonder if this smells like Joel. Okay, let's find out.
We're gonna
Here,
find
ready?
out. Did you know him in the 90s? It'll tell you. Please hold. Processing.
Woo! Whoa, y'all!
Do you know the scent?
No. But
Okay.
I love this scent.
Oh.
This is giving clean and masculine brand new definitions for me.
Oh, interesting.
Like, whoa. Okay,
like
hold on.
cologne
Wait.
vibes or
Huh?
just clean? More like
I guess. But something super masculine, super clean, sweet.
Oh, I was gonna ask
That's
that.
the magic part. Is like this is really masculine.
Okay.
But like has a really sweet edge that is that perfect bullseye of sweet. That like if the outside of the dartboard were like your candies and your fruits and your flowers and all those things that are
Okay.
sweet, this isn't any of those.
Oh.
This is like a bullseye in the middle of some whole new way of doing
Interesting.
sweet and clean.
Okay.
But like crazy masculine. You're not going to be expecting what this is.
I am very curious now.
Oh, you should be. You should
Huh.
be. Tiny bit of leather? Am I going
Well,
to
if it's
say
that masculine side,
Am I going to say that? Okay, wait. Just you do this. This
Okay.
is crazy. Douglas, Fran, what are you doing over there? What are you doing? This is crazy.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, I'm with you.
That's new. That's new for us. So we're in the middle of classic aftershave month, y'all, but we're doing the vintage stuff. We're doing the 80s and before. This is different. This is
yes,
96.
I would agree.
Ooh, this was a different
I can't
era.
tell if that's. I almost get like a citrusy something.
Ooh, right.
But it's a masculine.
Yes.
Like I don't know if that's
It's
a
not a
bergamot.
citrus you're
it's
used
not,
to.
No, it's
Yeah,
it's
no, hold on.
something. But then it turns to sweet.
But do you see what I mean about the sweet?
Mm-hmm.
It's like a bullseye in between all of the other sweets because I can't pick it out. I don't
Right.
think it's floral. I don't think it's sugary. I don't think it's herby. I don't get it. What is
And
making that
it's
sweet for you?
less woodsy.
Yeah.
Because sometimes masculine goes in that lane.
Right. It's still natural scents, I think.
I know that my brain is just trying to find anything, and that's why I thought bergamot maybe, but like a
Right.
sweeter.
No, this is going to be different. This is going to have some scent notes we don't know. This is going to be a little different. Like,
Yeah.
what's that thing in the heart of it? Like if somebody said, well, what does it basically smell like? What's it basically smell like? Because I'm not getting Fresco. I totally get
Nope.
why people who like Old Spice Fresh, like he said, or
Yes.
Fresco would love
Yes.
this.
But there's
they
something
don't
sweeter.
smell the same.
No,
Right.
there's something sweeter here happening.
Ah.
That I would definitely, and to me, that totally vibes with the 90s. Like
Yeah.
neon fun colors
Right.
and like kind of that vibe.
The 80s was more of the stronger citrus that was in Old Spice Fresh. This doesn't have that. This is a much different, much cleaned up kind of scent.
It's funny because I'm being like trying to remember where I've seen the bottle back in the day.
right.
Like, was I in a JCPenney?
Right.
Was I at a Claire's play? You know, they had like the girl version
Right.
or something like, or like maybe Old Navy. But I feel like I remember it being around. That label was really put in your faces, even in the magazine, little slip covers,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Macy's, I'm trying to think. Like,
You know
I do know the smell.
Right.
But
You know the phenomenon I'm getting with this too? You ever meet somebody for the first time and you get this like weird sense that like, whoa, do we know each
right,
other?
have I met you before?
Like, and especially if it's someone that you're gonna know for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're just meeting them. Every once in a while, I have that weird place in my brain just ping of like, somehow you know them, right?
Right.
There's a familiarity,
Your paths
but
have
you know
crossed.
you've never met before.
Yeah.
I've had that happen on about 3 or 4 soaps, and this is one of them. So probably that I just am vaguely remembering somebody who wore it, but I don't think it's
But
that.
it's long enough ago that it's so
Right. I think
far
it's
back.
more like this scent was so perfectly done. It's like a color that's always existed that you've never seen, but as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, got it. We just took a look at Diver Down and Oud Spice, and while I think those would be beautifully at home anywhere, including a nice dignified business meeting or something like that. But this, y'all,
You're having fun?
I might say this is a little too playful. I might say this would be like walking into that business meeting with a boombox playing Phil Collins. And you're like rocking out to it, right? Yeah, no, I think this is a little too playful a scent.
There's something laid back about it. I associate 90s with that same vibe. Like, you know, any music video you'd watch, anything that was happening, it was that loose, chill, boombox, colorful, finding your style, and that fits that.
And you know, before we dive in, can you pick out any set notes? Because I'm thinking this is like such a cool, unique blend. I'm having trouble even picking out a single one. I mean, clearly there's like a citrus something in there.
Yeah.
But I'm not really...
And there's something at the very beginning and the very end.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's a wood at the beginning. There's some kind of a different scent. It's probably going to be like white pepper or white geranium, like something random. And there is a floral, but again, it's not a floral that we were just getting in all the barbershop ones. And it might be like a gardenia. It might be something that usually is more feminine, but somehow in here, it's like a masculine flower.
This has its own character so much that I'm not picking out any scent notes.
And I have to say, if I hadn't seen the color that bright on the label, my brain is still giving me bright, vibrant
that bright
90s
yellow
colors.
green, 100%.
Right, like a turquoise, anything that's like a 90s banger.
In that spirit, bring on the scent notes. All right, so these are the scent notes from the sales page at Phoenix Artisan
And they're
Accoutrements.
broken down, top, middle, base, so I'm curious.
Look at this. Okay, top notes. Green leaf.
Huh.
Yes.
I mean, that's why I
say
thought.
which.
But when
green
you were
leaf.
saying wood, that's why I wasn't getting a wood,
And
because
you
it's
said
not.
green. You said the word green.
I couldn't figure it out between the wood or something.
Got it. And then, coming on, lavender. There's
Okay,
a little
there was a
floral,
floral.
little barbershop floral in there.
Yep.
Makes perfect sense to me. Douglas fir. Douglas.
Okay.
And then middle notes.
I think it's where it lightens up.
Here we go. Yeah. Now we're starting. And you said it. You said bergamot.
I was right.
Italian bergamot.
Very specific.
We're going on a world tour here. Moroccan cardamom.
Oh.
And cactus coming back home again to the Southwest.
Okay.
Very cool. Cactus. Wait.
Right. I know. Is that a...
I've had cactus. Ooh.
That's funny. I do kind of get that. It's almost like an aloe scent, but it's
Right,
not. It's in that same, like, different mild or lighter scent.
A little greeny, a little spicy, right?
Yeah.
And then base notes. You said pepper too.
I did. I said white, but still.
And then amber.
I do get that.
And that, yes, amber's a
That's
little
the
prominent for me off the
masculine part
top,
of it.
and I love it. Vetiver, just to ground it. You're not getting grassy in here,
Look
so
at
let
this
that
last
go.
one. Mahogany.
Stay classy, San Diego. Look at that.
Wowie zowie.
Woo! You know what? The mahogany is why I was thinking I was maybe having a wisp of leather, but smell for how that mahogany dances in here. Right?
I'm with you.
Telling you, y'all.
That's,
Mahogany is here to do a phenomenal job. So you know how mahogany can kind of have like a light soapy sense to it? Get that out of your head. They've taken the deep, spicy part of the mahogany and left the rest of it on the wayside. So when I'm getting this, I don't sense mahogany, but as soon as I read that, I went, oh, yes, the bottom half of mahogany is what's doing this, and it's amazing.
So now, should we try and lather this up and see which of these contenders come to show themselves a little more?
And we're gonna build a lather in our indestructible, intergalactic, shatterproof travel scuttle. This was a gift from Douglas and Fran. Our very first week of the show.
Yes.
Thank you,
And then we have our cyclotrode brush that we got during all the Halloween season sent to us.
It's awesome. This is the softest brush I own. It feels like little bunnies are putting the shave soap on you.
Bunnies is a good word. Yeah, it's
It
very,
totally
very
feels
soft.
like little bunnies. All right, let's see what we got here hiding in the lather. You know what's really awesome? I don't get vintage in this at all.
Oh, interesting.
I think it must have been somewhere, maybe 96, because it's a perfect number. I think that's where things went from vintage too modern. And sometimes they did. Sometimes stuff like that happened overnight, y'all. It's weird, like in pop culture.
Right.
Sometimes things like that did shift instantly.
Interesting.
Like disco. Disco went out fast, y'all. So this, I love that it, having become experts on the vintage classic aftershaves and colognes this month.
Right.
There are certain qualities of those that this does not have. What are they?
Right. Well, and it's interesting because even Heath mentioned that the scent had changed on this one.
Right.
So, maybe things that they were changing.
So it's
the potency.
something, right. It's something in the base. It's something in the base. This is a little bit more willing to be a little more delightfully clean and soapy, where I feel like those classic aftershaves weren't. The classic aftershaves were about being more of the darker spices and the rumminess and the syrupy sweetness. But this is more on the cleaner, soapy side. That's a little bit more about the more modern colognes and aftershaves, I think. Because think about Creed. Think about like those kind of scents, your more modern things, right? Or from PAA, Twee, or those kind of scents like that, right?
Right. But it's interesting too because all of these scents, we've had at least most of them in other things.
Right,
but
those scent notes.
But most of them are still current things that you would get in a newer scent that's coming out. But this fact that this one only really has like the mahogany, the catsup, there's few things that are different.
Yes.
But they're still current.
Yes.
If that makes sense.
So if those classic aftershaves for me were like a light, right? They are a colored light. They're a yellow, brown, green. Look at the fluids themselves, right? And they cast a lot of shadows.
Yeah.
Which kind of make their personalities, right? Just kind of that. But this, when I smell this, I see a room that is just like brilliant sunlight and all made of windows. So for me, just kind of getting pictures in my head, that's the difference between the more vintage things and the more modern things. Because even when I do smell like Twee, those kind of things, that's what I get. I get the more brighter glass in the room. Like, well, the ubiquitous Aventus, right?
Right, but even that crisp
that's more
side.
about, brighter, crisper, where those classic vintage ones don't have the crisp factor.
Right.
They go more for the soothing, the relaxing, the darker, the spicier, the bourbon, the boozy, right? So this is, I think we have actually hit on the moment that it went from old to new. I think this is what we're talking about.
No, I would agree. And it's always, people always talk about how styles come back. Like even right now, everything in the stores is having this weird 90s twist to it. So it's funny that I don't know if that's just more the generational flip. Like now we can all appreciate that smell. And I do feel like, just the term masculine now is so different than what it was in the 90s. Like what it covers. So even culturally, we accept even having more of this fun, playful side to a man, as an adult, not just in the teen years of 90s discovering sense. Like it really is still part of who the men are these days.
And it is funny that he mentions Old Spice fresh. I could see how a 20-year-old in the 80s would love that, but I could see how a 20-year-old in the late 90s wouldn't and would want something without those sort of citrusy, darker, spicier. Something sweeter, cleaner, soapier. That's what
Which is funny that you brought up some of the Aventus stuff because one of those had a little more of the pineapple sweet side to it. So this is more the bergamot is used to make it a little sweeter. But it does have those other parts with the mahogany. Like there is a mature side to the scent. But it does have a playful, fun character to it.
Woo! And you know what? When we go deeper, we still have an aftershave! Yeah, so when we bought our first few rounds of PAA soaps, we did not get the aftershave. And we've kind of been going back and playing cleanup because it's a slightly different sort of character of the scent, but it's the same scent. So it's a wonderful way to get to know the artist's true intention is to experience it in both places. And then with this, you can kind of carry it with you throughout the day.
We've kind of learned like the dry down that there's something, it is that magic number. I know he's talking about math, but it is, almost how it resolves after you've worn it and your chemistry mixes in there. That it does really change what you get out of the scent. Yeah?
I may not say this is an updating of like an Old Spice Fresh. I might say this is a little bit more of an updating of Club Guy. Oh, just for me.
Okay.
Now, I think Club Guy and Club Man are a country mile apart. I'm a Club Guy fan, if you caught that episode.
But even that we have this month so far going into all of those.
Whoa! Oh, I love this. Oh, it's beautiful and spicy, but it stays clean. It stays above the surface. It's a morning, noon scent. But it has enough mystery. It has enough spiciness that it is for sure masculine. So I know you have lady parts, but this is going to be more for the guys, I think.
But that's how curve for men was made. They had curve.
It was
for,
made in a pair, right? It was not made to be a unisex thing.
No.
They each had their own. You got your own, right? Whoa. What is that citrus doing? Because it doesn't stay citrus the whole time. It takes like a turn and it softens up.
Which is funny because at first I almost got like a sour candy vibe.
Oh.
And then it flipped and got sweet and creamy. You know, like when you get the coating off of a sour candy and then you get to the real sweet?
Wow.
It almost changed within my whiff.
Right. And y'all, these scent notes are, like we've said before, connecting in pairs and then presenting those pairs to my nose. So I am for sure getting things like, well, let me see, the Douglas fir with the bergamot. Like I'm getting those.
The clean.
I'm getting the cardamom with the mahogany. Boom, right? And then those are kind of their own dancers in this whole little swirling. Wow.
Can you smell the cactus part to it? Is that like the mystery part that I can't name?
Yes, I think that's just a little bit, like you said, of like an aloe vera, like a slightly softer, just a little bit of a spicy note. Does that make sense?
No, I'm with you, but it almost it's almost like the mediator in the middle that's like translating things through it somehow.
Right. And that's what I love about some of these artisans is when they redo a classic aftershave. Y'all, they're going to do it with better ingredients. They're going to do it with more modern ingredients. They're going to do it with a more modern perfumer's nose. They're occasionally going to do it with updated lab equipment. I mean, y'all, it's amazing. And I think we have yet to be disappointed by a classic homage because they are always a little bit, for me, better than the original because it's just the artist touch.
Right. And knowing, like, seeing the original picture in the fan group, I'm like, 90s, like, oh, that's funny. I don't know what I would think of that. And smelling this now, it really doesn't seem like it has to be a throwback.
No,
like, it really could be a current one on the shelf.
What I mean. I think this hit right at the moment that the scents became modern. I think this is the before and after. Like, I think this is the line. I haven't said that before.
No.
I think this is the line. And I get a little bit more of the Douglas fir in the splash. And then when you smell the soap,
you can find it more.
Yeah.
Smell it's. I get more of the green there, but then smell here. It's way sweeter.
Y'all, do you know how to do this? How to make it smell different on the lady bits? Like, wait a minute, because I'm not getting the evergreen now at all.
I know. I can barely get it on my palm a little to know what you were talking about. That's why I went back and I was like, what? Whoa.
Right. Now I'm getting the citrus on you. I'm getting other things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bananas. Hold on.
No, I feel like I would steal this from you. But what it's doing on me...
100%. I would love that on you. It smells totally different on me.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
that's
bananas.
like a woodsy thing.
That's totally different.
Crazy town.
Is there something about the male and female like chemistry that changes
like,
a little
do you
bit?
smell like the sour candy kind of thing?
Yes. I don't get any of the evergreen there. I get more of the sweet.
My body erased it. It's gone.
Wow. Mine just throws it back.
And then, but here, smell the bergamot, lavender, and then there's the mahogany and cactus.
Wow. And y'all, while I do have a special place in my heart for the vintage aftershaves, especially after this month, this one is pulling ahead in the race for my F-word list. Like, this might be one of my favorites.
It's so interesting because neither one of us were really big into frags back in the day.
No, I had one.
Right, and in theater world, like, you didn't really have too much, in the dance studio, it's too many smells.
They don't let you, just in case somebody else is allergic or sensitive, right? And you have to work in close and you have to sweat and it's all night. So you're not allowed to wear fragrances to rehearsals.
So even if I did, it was, maybe once a month for something kind of a special event. I didn't have like an everyday scent.
Right.
The other funny thing, remember when we first started this, that my sister had asked, what's a good sexy dude scent?
Here, let me smell a sexy dude. I don't want to smell peaches. Let me smell a sexy dude scent, right?
But this is almost like the fun dude scent.
Right.
Like the guy that in the group of the 90s was like the playful, jokester, good nature's like raised well kind of guy.
Right. So it's pretty easy. The next time you're expecting a curveball, all you have to do is step up to the plate at Wrigley Field and call your shot. That's right. It's never been done before, but it's going to be done now. You're going to point out to left field, and when that pitcher stares you down, he's going to have an extra dose of fear in his eyes. You know why? Because he knows that no matter what kind of meatball he delivers over that plate, it's going over that wall, and you just got your own. So head over to their website at phoenixartisanaccoutrements.com, or even better, do it by way of the link in the description. It's an affiliate link, which lets them know that we sent you, and it gives us back a small percentage of the sale, which we'll probably spend on soap so we can make more episodes. It's at no cost to you, and we would be grateful. had my shave with Casi Perfecto, y'all. What a fantastic set. I am sure this is where old meets new. This is the line in the sand where vintage is no longer vintage because it has a cleanness, it has a crispness, it has a friendliness. It has an optimism that is a little bit different from the vintage stuff. It's just the light of a clear blue morning. And the lather, y'all get out of town. It's just its own thing. It just is beautiful and frothy and sticky and foamy and thick. And if you want to put more water, sure, put more water. It's going to adapt. It's going to know exactly what to do to give you the kind of shave that you want. So, hey, folks, well done all around. I'd say a home run. So, y'all, some of you might be a little confused because we've been talking about Classic Aftershave Month all show. Well, here's why. Coming up in February is Classic Aftershave Month, and we bumped this one to the front of the schedule because it's a brand new soap and it's a gift from Douglas and Friends. So we wanted to get this out right at the beginning of February, but we have been furiously filming lots of episodes based on classic cologne homages. So we can't wait for you to be a part of that.
Yes,
so please
join us.
Sure you're here at the Barbershop on Wednesdays and Saturdays in February.
I did not expect to enjoy this as much, I have to say.
There is a certain burst of gratitude I always get at this point in the episode when it is a soap that is particularly beguiling, because it's this point where I start to think when I'm standing in front of our shave den and I'm just discovering and still getting to know a lot of my favorite smells.
Right.
This is now going to be part of the buffet, and I'm so excited that I get to smell this whenever I want.
You know, just seeing it go by, I don't know if we would have swung and got it right away.
Swung. Like what you did. Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think this might have gone under my radar.
And we were just so focused on classic aftershaves that we've been putting our energy towards that.
Right.
So the fact that this was kind of just snuck into the schedule, it is super fun because I got to say, we might have let it sneak by without realizing what we would have missed.
And I know a lot of folks that wore this, so it's going to be fun to put this under their nose and say, hey, where does this take you?
Anybody from the 90s, like, what does this smell like? Anything familiar to you?
Hey, Douglas, Fran, and Huxley, we so appreciate you sending this out for free for us to review. We're very grateful, and boy, did we have a good time.
You know, it's going to have a new place of honor in our shave den.
For sure.
Don't forget your next appointment with the Barbershop Duet.
You'll smell better just watching this.